live.
We're gonna go live. We haven't done live in a
Ooh.
while. I don't know if we're on that.
I do like it, Wayne, that you leave all these like little extras that we do in before you start the show. That we can just like show like how zany we are prior to the show starts.
That was unexpected.
Well, I've got the blood of Christ right here to drink. So there we go. I need some crackers. Does anyone got crackers?
No crackers.
You got 4 of them right here.
I was just gonna say.
What up, bump?
Thank you. I set that one up. I was waiting for somebody to friggin' to send that one home.
Well, cheers to you. And buy Music is Live merchandise right now on TeePublic. Thank you.
Merchandising.
No, where's
kids
my
love
white
it.
pronoun? Make it. Hey, we
Oh, hey, there you go.
Years old, but buy it.
Listen to it.
Wayne.
There you go.
Thank you. I was gonna have to.
All right, yeah, now we got all that. Okay, now we got all the way. We can start the show.
Okay, enough shilling.
All right, no intro.
No,
'cause I'm
never.
gonna go
We can
for
never
it.
stop shilling.
Welcome to Rat
nameless-
Salary. What?
James, we got to start this someday.
I'm gonna get him a muzzle.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Welcome to Rat Salary Review. Welcome everybody. Oh, hey Lisa, what's up?
Hi.
What's
How
The
you
going
doing?
beautiful, talented, and lovely Lisa Mann in the hizzy. And Wayne,
Thank
oh, there you
you.
are.
All right.
Oh, and Wayne disappeared for like 5 seconds. He was blinded. He was blinded by it.
No.
By the light, rolled up
Blinded
like
by
a
my
douche,
skin
another
tone.
runner.
Oh,
we have-
oh wow. I was
is that
gonna go
what's
there,
shining
but
off my
there you
head?
go. Good job.
Blinded by my
Thank you.
lack of a tan.
And we have brother James in the house too. Hello, James.
Welcome.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing, everybody? We are
all
back for
good.
another exciting actually we're talking music this time. We're not talking B-rated horror movies. This is gonna be different.
Yeah.
Hey, good B-rated horror movie.
I didn't say they were bad. I didn't say
Okay.
they were bad. I just said they were different.
I enjoyed last week's movie. Lisa, did you ever watch the movie? Crap, what the hell was the
Trick or
name of it?
Treat.
Trick or treat.
Trick or Treat. Thank you.
Or Ragman, as it's called in
Ragman,
European
from
territories.
1986, the old heavy metal horror movie.
Oh, who was in that?
Ozzy Osbourne for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I
Gene
know,
Simmons
I
for
re-
5 minutes. And
Yes,
and what's his name? Skippy from Family Ties.
Yeah, Scooby from Family
I
Ties.
did see that movie. And I remember going to see that movie because they were like, Ozzy's in the movie, Ozzy's in the movie. And we sat there going, where's Ozzy? Where's Ozzy? Where's Ozzy? Where's Ozzy? And then we blinked and we went, where's Ozzy? Where's Ozzy?
He showed back up and then he got killed.
What a scam.
And if you need me to redo what happened, it was like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then carbonized large Marge.
Yeah.
Barely remember it. I think I was probably pretty inebriated at the time. so.
Well, it's Greg Nogle's one of his favorite movies. So we
That's the
reviewed that
best way to
last
enjoy it,
week.
Lisa.
So moving to Greg
Best way
to
to
Greg's
forget it.
favorite thing to one of Greg's least favorite
One of his
things.
least favorite things, which Lisa is wearing a T-shirt of today's subject.
Why, yes. Isn't this a great shirt too?
It is
Oh, with Cardinal
Artwork.
Copa in there too.
This is
That's pronounced
fabulous
Copia.
artwork.
Copia? I thought it was Copa. I don't know.
They have
Cardinal
s-
Copia.
I could
Yeah.
just buy every single shirt
Copy
that
it.
they have, but I would go broke.
Oh, they're great shirts.
Yeah,
They don't
they
have
are.
much
They're
of a
just-
discount though. Tell you what, they're like Ghost on sale.
Yeah,
10% off.
$25.
Uh,
Every once in a while, I buy. Sometimes when it's like buy two for like whatever,
mhm.
$30 or whatever. So that's where I
Yeah.
get all my shirts. But yeah, they got tons and tons of shirts, and they also have tons and tons of figures. I've
Yeah,
got the
they
other figures
do.
too from the other company, Knuckle Bonds. I got the
That's pretty cool.
statues, but this just came out last week.
Hey,
Nothing
siamo
very
con clave, siamo con Dio. How are you, padre? Or as Pete Steele used to do.
But so yes, we are talking about the band Ghost, and Greg is not here because he doesn't really like Ghost. But no, I think he has to work, but he still doesn't like Ghost.
Yeah, he's about to say you're still not lying to him because he really hates Ghost.
Yeah, no,
But we love Greg anyway.
We love Greg anyway.
we do. So we're gonna talk about the discography of Ghost, and yeah, I'm not gonna go through every single song because we'll be here for 4 hours. So we'll just talk about like the albums, what our favorite songs are, and stuff like that. So we will start with the first album, Opus Eponymous. Like you can't even show this. I got so much shit here.
Mhm.
I this is one of my favorite albums from them. It's such a good
It
album.
is. When this band came out, people were raving about how great they sounded. and I listened to them, I checked them out, and I'm like, it's so they went back to like the 70s sound, and it's very raw sounding, and the vocals were just like very weak. I'm like, how do people like this? I don't get it. And I didn't see what they looked like. I didn't know. I thought it was just guys just playing music. I had no idea there was a whole thing. They were dressed up in costumes or anything. So I searched YouTube and I came across one of their videos. They were playing some festival during the day, so it was kind of weird. But just seeing them in the costumes, it clicked with me. And then I got it. And then I was like, all right, now I can go buy the album, check out the whole album, whatever. And I did. And I've been a huge fan ever since. I buy every freaking CD record. I buy the box sets. Obviously, I buy the figures and T-shirts. So I'm like a super fan of Ghost now.
Right on.
Oh, we find you one of the many of the proper hordes to praise the one true.
Yeah. So between Ghost and Halloween, I have no cash. I can't afford food.
Really? You put Ghost up there with Halloween?
I don't put them up there with Halloween, but since they have so much merchandise that I like,
Much.
yeah.
I mean, they're right up there with Kiss with the merch.
Yeah, they are.
Seriously.
I like Ghost merchandise better though.
Yeah.
But will you enjoy Ghost when they're so bad that you're making you watch paint dry like Kiss has been?
Bad.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I don't know.
No. I actually, the way I got into them was a little bit later on, but the all those YouTube videos they do announcing their tours and everything are absolutely what the band I think represents. It's just zany humor. It's like they take all these weird concepts that considered taboo and they make them like a child's TV show almost, or like children's, like a children's cartoon in the 80s. We sat down and ate milk too. They do like, I can see this with like with banana splits and stuff like that. I can see them doing that stuff.
Those things are very, very hilarious. I love when they started doing them. How did you get into Ghost, Lou?
So my dear friend Alan Long went to the Orion Fest. This was Metallica's 2-day music festival in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and he saw Ghost. He was there, and he came back and said, "Have you heard Ghost?" I'm like, "No." And he played me the video from YouTube because at the time we were both co-workers at Viacom together. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, when did King Diamond become the Pope? Like that's what I thought when I saw this. And, I have to admit, I was just like, what is this gimmick? What are they trying to do here? I'm like, and, it's like at first watch, I was confused. I was shocked. And I was like, I don't know if I could get into this. And then like, I said, let me give it another shot. Downloaded Opus Eponymous on my iTunes, my Apple, because I have the Apple Music on my phone. So I added the album to my library, put it on. I was like, all right, this is cool. So I thought maybe the best way for me to enjoy them at first was to listen, not to see it, because it didn't make sense if I saw them first and then listened to them. And anyway, so I listened to the album. And the moment Conclave con Dios came on, I was like, oh, what's this? And I really dug it. And people compare them to Blue Oyster Cult. I don't get it. I don't see it. I mean, it's different than that.
I always give it more Deep Purple vibe than Blue Oyster Cult.
Not even. I mean, to me, it sounds very much like the Italian progressive rock band Goblin. The band that did all the Dario Argento films in the 70s and 80s, it had like that, again, them being from Sweden and them having that European feel in it. And I really love, music from Europe, the metal music from Europe. And then, the moment he sang, it's like, how can you not love a band whose first word in their song is Lucifer? It's like, come on, it's just like, okay, they won me over. And, the album grew on me over time and I love it now. But I have to admit, my favorite song on it does not have lyrics. My favorite song on it is Genesis.
Really?
I think it's one of the best instrumental tracks I've ever heard.
It is a very cool
Yes.
instrumental. It's a good
I
end to the
agree.
album. Yeah.
I mean, I just visualize
I
things
agree.
to it, you know, like and I realize it's supposed to be like the genesis of evil, but seriously, like they leave it so open-ended, you know, and you know, they let, I mean, yeah, their lyrics are direct, but if you listen to their music though, it's conjures up really cool imagery. So yeah,
I think so too.
good stuff.
And Lisa, how did you get into Ghost?
Well, I didn't get into Ghost. I had heard of Ghost, but I'd never heard Ghost.
Oh.
At least I don't think I ever heard Ghost until 2016. And that was for the Grammy Awards. So I was, I'm a member of the Recording Academy. And so I'm looking at, you know, I'm going through all the list of the people I'm going to vote for and stuff. And so I just looked up and Slipknot, Lamb of God, Seven Dust, August Burns Red. They all were nominated in the metal performance category. And I heard Cerise. And the moment I heard Cerise, the moment I heard the opening notes, and it's very Slayer, that guitar intro, very Slayer. It just grabbed me. And then this guy starts singing and he sounds like Michael Stipe. And you're just like, what the hell? How this badass metal band with this incredible production value, just audiophile level production value. I found out later they recorded the drums. They recorded the drums and the cymbals separately. So this is how painstaking they were about recording this album. But I remember running into the next room, and this rarely happens. You know, I hear all kinds of great stuff when I'm voting. But I remember running into the next room, and I found the song on my phone. I was like, Alan, you got to hear this. I mean, this is just insane. This is so good. So I started getting into them. I found out about the way they looked later. I heard I listened to what Meliora, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I listened to that album before I found out what they look like. And then I was like, whoa, okay, this is really cool. And I love theatrical rock and stuff, but I just started really getting into their whole catalog, and I was just smitten immediately, and found out about their more lighthearted side, because Meliora is a very serious sounding album in a lot of ways. And so I got to hear more of their campy kind of stuff too, and appreciated that. But really, that's when I started writing what later became White Crone, The Poisoner. It was after hearing Cerise, after that moment, that I started hearing the melodies that became the metal album that I wrote. So it just like it unfroze the unfrozen cave woman of metal.
Whoa, really all these production values scare me.
it unfroze me.
Wow, that's really cool to know.
Yeah.
I know that they record the drums and the cymbals separate. That's I've heard Megadeth did that on one of their albums too, and that's, you know, to me that's weird, because
it sounds really interesting. But now I can actually hear that from when you hear when you hear Cerise and you hear the cymbals coming in so clearly from the drums, it comes in different ways. So yeah, I could feel that. And I didn't know that either. That was wild. I just remember seeing their music video and laughing my butt off, freaking seeing there were a bunch of kids in there dressed up as Ghost doing in like this church child, like, you know, talent show.
You can tell they're having fun with the gimmick, and like, you know, pointing fun at people's insecurities about like, oh my God, they're so evil. It's like, get over yourselves. Okay, it's entertainment.
It's funny. The other day I was driving in the car with my son. He was in the car. My wife was in the car too. And that song came on the radio. So I wasn't really playing it. It just came on. So my son's like, play that again. He wanted to hear it again. And it was over. And then he wanted to hear it again. And when we got home, he wanted to hear it again. So I said, all right, you want to watch the video? So I played him the video, and he sat and watched the whole thing, and he wanted to watch the video again. He was like mesmerized by the video.
You know how jealous of you I am right now? All my daughter wants to hear is that Wellerman song, that stinking pirate shanty.
I don't even know what that is. No, we were on like a Ghost kick that night. We watched that video. We watched the new one, Hunter's Moon. I think that's his favorite one right now. And I forget what the other one was, but yeah, he likes Ghost. So
Where Hammer, Rats, Dance Macabre.
I think Rats. Yeah. Rats was the other one.
Rat. Yeah, he should have done He Is, where he's just sitting there on a cloud there with the little flower there singing about the devil and everything.
I think that's too slow for him. He likes things that just start going right away.
Rats is hard. Yeah, Rats moves at a very frantic pace. I really like that song.
He likes that stuff. Just something that gets up and goes. I know Cerise, or Cerise, however you pronounce it. Starts slow, but it gets good.
That dance routine in that Rats video, that's like almost that's like borderline Billy Squire.
No pink shirts though, so
that's true.
That is true. But getting back to Opus Eponymous, like I said, I first heard this. I love this album. I was making a playlist as I was listening to these albums and seeing what songs I liked off of them, and I added every single song off of this album to the playlist because there's not one bad song on here.
Even the opening intro.
Even the opening intro, because when
Wow.
you're gonna listen to the playlist, that's the opening of the playlist. So you have an opening. You just go right into a song. So I thought it was cool. I like the intro to this. It's cool.
I love that intro into Conclave, Condio. It just sets everything into motion.
Right.
And it hits so hard when you're in the mood for it. It just comes at you, and I love that about it.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I really liked about this album, and it actually reminded me, I don't know if maybe you would kind of recognize it, Lou, but a lot of the guitar solos reminds me of my old guitarist Gus from Phoenix Rain. Kind of
Gosa is a mastermind at the instrument. He's great at what he does, and I could see that because Gosa was very particular and meticulous in his approach.
Yeah.
And everything that he did always came out great. So, Ghost Absados, if you're watching, Yasufile, how are you?
Yes, if you're watching. Hello.
If you're watching.
If you're watching.
I'll send you the file.
Oh, and also, too, if he's watching, I don't think he is because there's nobody else in here watching on YouTube right now. But Ralph Vieira is actually in a hospital because something happened to his finger. I don't know. We got some kind of infection. So, hopefully everything is okay and you get out of the hospital and get back to podcasting very soon.
Yeah. All our best to the good doctor.
Yes,
get well.
We love you, Ralph.
But yeah, like I said, every song, Ritual, Elizabeth, Stand By Him, even Prime Mover is like a really good one. Satan's
Prime Mover is a sleeper song. That song comes out of like nowhere because it's all different than like Death Kneel and Satan Prayer. Yeah. And it comes something different at you. So yeah, I like Prime Mover.
Yeah.
There's just every like I said, every song. Lisa, how do you feel about this album?
I love all of the songs on this album, and I really love the instrumental as well. I think that instrumental is absolutely brilliant, and it just takes you places. And the acoustic guitar, I love the whole album. I love when the bass starts on that first track, Conclave.
Yeah,
and it's and what struck me is like that's like this classic P bass sound, and then the organ sounds, and it's just like. These are really classic 70s rock sounds. And also the arrangements, the bass guitar plays with the drums and the guitars do their thing. So it's not like the bass is just doing what the guitars do. And that's really old school, 70s rock and hard rock and Judas Priest and that kind of stuff. So I love it. I love the whole thing. And I just love the song in this chapel of ritual. It smells of dead human sacrifices. That's the song that sounds like BOC to me. But whenever I play this for people, I play this album for people all the time. That's like I'm in a blues band and we're like rocking Ritual driving down the road and we're singing along. Hey.
Who knew talking about Saint and
Who knew?
Lucifer and these songs would be so happy.
Yeah, that's why I say it's like Saturday morning cartoons when you're just being all there, it's all chipper and everything, but yet we're talking about the devil.
Yeah.
Satan, pleasing metal kids since 1969.
But I think that's the whole
Thank
point.
You, James.
That's the whole point of the band, really. They're trying to get people to worship Satan, and make it fun.
Well, because it is fun. If you actually look at the Satanic Temple and you actually see what their actual, like tenets and everything are, they really are kind of hippies. They kind of are like dark hippies. Yeah.
I mean, I'm Christian and I love it. I don't give a damn. It's all good. It's good music.
Yeah, no, it's just entertainment, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Hell, I even let my 5-year-old watch it, so we'll see what happens.
You're a good dad.
The child. Okay, so when Child Protective Services comes to the Noon house.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Mr. Noon, we have heard some previous complaints about some strange music your child has been listening to.
Now, son, Mr. Noon, has your son been singing Italian demonic chants his entire life, or is that recent?
Has he been playing everything in C sharp? Has he been using the devil's chords in his music at all times?
Lou, what do you think of this album?
I answered that.
You answered that. Okay, forget you. James.
It's honestly, it's so different than everything else they play, but it's also very similar at the same time. It's very complex, because like then you move into their next album and it's completely different sound. It's like they completely changed everything up, and then you go into their other albums and just Can You Bar the Door? They're you're getting into some strange territory.
It was definitely a great launching pad for what they would do later on. I mean, probably one of the best debut albums.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I think so too.
Yeah. I wish they do more of that sound. I absolutely love it when they're doing the old 60s, the old Black Sabbath, 3 chords and all that stuff. I love it when they do that stuff.
I don't know if anybody heard the demo that came up before this.
No, and there's a story behind that. Actually, that demo was released the day Tobias's brother Sebastian passed away.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it started blowing up right away. I heard he was thrilled. He was like, "Oh my God, look at all these people that are listening," and he was on a high when he found out his brother died.
Which is cool because he had 2 other bands. I think it was Repulsion or Repugnant. Repugnant was the other band.
Repugnant, yeah.
Yes.
And I can't remember what the other name of that band was. And I liked the album too. It was a really good album. Somebody's gonna say it in the comments here.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments.
I have it. I just can't think of what the hell it's called. But that was a very good album too. But I guess he just really didn't have success with what he was doing. And
was that Magna Carta Cartel?
No, it was the other
Subvision.
Yeah. Subvision. Thank you.
Subvision.
That's really good.
Thanks,
album.
Wikipedia. My Google skills are unmatched.
Yeah, which is a shame because that album's actually very good. But it sounds very similar to Ghost. So seeing him go right into Ghost from that, kind of makes sense a little bit. And I'm glad that he figured out how, with the Ghost thing and everything, and all the costumes and everything really made like a really good band, real theatrical type thing, which is what I love, because I love bands like Guar and King Diamond and all that stuff. So
Alice Cooper,
of course.
That the first album was released on I want to say it's Rise Above Records. What's the that was a huge stoner and doom metal label. So definitely got some credibility from that.
Yeah, definitely. So they do that album and then they come out with the next album, like James says, completely different. Oh, actually, did anybody ever hear, because there's a bonus song on the other album, Japanese bonus song of the Beatles, Here Comes the Sun. Anybody ever hear that cover?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you laughing?
That scared me more than the album did.
Because it's not, because I'm listening to it, I'm like, this is not the Beatles. This is not what I would expect coming from a cover of this song.
But it's cool though. I like how they changed it up, they made it scary and dark.
Like, here comes the sun. Run away, kids. Run away.
Don't run towards the light.
I'm surprised they never released it on anything else.
Carolyn! Sorry.
But then they released another album. And then actually they had a problem with the name because I guess there was another band with the name Ghost. And then they had
and they changed it to Ghost BC for this period.
Yeah. Didn't last very long, but they have this ugly BC on the album cover, which I cannot stand. And the other thing that's cool too is that a lot of their album covers have something to do with like either movies or what was the other one, was from a movie too, right? The other album
cover was from The
based...
Shining, wasn't it?
No, it's from
I
can't remember.
We've done that.
I thought maybe
we should have done our homework. Oh my God.
I should have. Too late today.
I was at Hobby Lobby. My bad.
Yes, but you're a Wikipedia fact checker, so get to work with.
Yes.
Oh. God.
All right. So this is, I know this is from around the movie too. I just can't remember what it's from. But yeah, like James said, sound changed drastically on this one. very very psychedelic almost, I think, very hippie-ish kind of sounding, and even the drums and the instruments too, totally different sound. Production's very different, very almost like a roomy type sound. Like the other one was very close and 70s sound, but this one's very open and very different. The only one problem I have with this album, it's very loud for no reason.
You think it suffers from the loudness war that only comes with digital recording?
Yes, definitely does.
Well, I actually, this is weird. I'm looking at Wikipedia. Do you know where this album was recorded mostly in? What studio?
I don't.
Blackbird Studios.
Oh, really?
In Nashville.
Nashville.
Oh.
Nick Raskulitz, I think.
Yep.
Something. Yeah.
He
did a lot of big bands.
Oh my God,
He
that
did, like,
explains
the
a
Rush
lot.
album, Foo Fighters.
And that explains, Lisa, you just said it yourself, the Rush albums. He's produced every Rush album from Vapor Trails on, and people complained that the problem with Vapor Trails was that it suffered greatly from the loudness war, which is why they remastered it. That explains the production problem, Wayne.
That would explain it. But yeah, when you hear the first, not the intro, but the first song comes on, it's just overly loud. I don't know if you notice. I guess nobody really notices, but I noticed.
You know what's unusual about it? I first heard Infestissimum as a digital file. So I heard the uber compressed MP3. Right. And so I got the impression that this album was mixed for it, like internet radio and MP3 and streaming. It seems like it was mixed for that, because I heard that Soderbergh and those guys were complaining that their guitars were too quiet on that album. It was too much bass and too much keyboard. When I heard the MP3, I was like, I don't think so. I think the guitars are quite present. I can hear them just fine. And then when I heard wave files, I was like, yeah, they are tucked in, man. They're too tucked in. But for some reason, compressing the album actually made the guitars kind of pop out. So I thought that was really unusual. But that's why I thought this is an engineer who knows that the vast majority of listeners are going to be listening on Spotify and other streaming platforms.
That's why I bought the record too, because usually the record's mixed differently. And it's not.
Oh yeah, and mixed for vinyl. Yeah.
But this thing, I think it's just ripped directly from the files, or
is it too loud? The record too loud, or is
the record is still too loud? They're both. Everything is too loud. Everything.
Wow, interesting.
It drives me nuts because I can't stand when things are like overly loud, because you can hear it,
Yeah.
But again, I don't like as many songs off of this album. But there's maybe two I don't like, and one that I'm kind of like always iffy on, which is Goulet and Zombie Queen.
Goulet and Zombie Queen are the best ones.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I like it, but just something about it. I don't know.
Surfing for Satan, man. Yeah.
But every other song I like. I love Secular Haze. I love how that's like a carousel type, circus-y type intro to that song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Marionette! I'm a Marionette is so freaking dark and
that's not on this album, but
yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It's an extra track.
It is an extra track.
It's a bonus track.
It's a bonus track.
It's an ABBA song.
Yeah,
it is.
Have you heard the original ABBA song?
Yeah,
I have not.
It's not that different.
Oh, really?
It's not that different musically. You think these chord changes and stuff, it all sounds really bizarre and satanic, and it's like, no, that was the original.
Oh wow!
It's nuts, man. You got to check out the original.
Once again, ABBA's not just disco.
Way longer.
ABBA's not just disco, guys.
It's pretty. It's like disco for Satan. I mean, you can really hear the ABBA influence in that.
Very cool.
That's coming from a Swede who loves ABBA.
For James's sensitivities, we'll say 70s pop. There
you go.
You can call it disco. I don't care.
I love it all. I love that whole album. Depth of Satan's Eyes took time to grow on me, but it grew.
I love that song. I like that one. And Year Zero is probably my favorite of this whole thing.
Mine too.
Yeah,
I can see it.
That was the second single I think they released. But this actually on this tour is when I first saw them live, and when that song came on, people just like went nuts. So I love that song. And Body and Blood's really cool. And Idolatrine, I think that's the other song I really, I can give or take.
Oh, see, that's one I love.
Really.
Brilliant lyrics.
I like the lyrics. I don't hate the songs. It's just I like some more than others. because it's way different from that first album, like we said. And then Depths of St. Nice I like, and Monstrous Clock, I think that's a great outro for an album.
Yes, I agree.
Yep.
Lisa, what do you think about the rest of this album?
I love this album. I love the whole album. I love the intro. I love singing along with this album because it's actually, I warm up by singing along with Ghost. Because I used to just, I don't need to warm up. I just sing. But, now that I'm woman of a certain age, I warm up singing to male voices that are a bit lower. And so I love singing along with this because they're fun melodies. Love the song. Love Year Zero. That's a great song. Body and Blood is a lot of fun, especially live when they, recruit nuns from the audience. and they, so I was lucky enough to get communion a few times from the nuns in the front row, because I just follow them everywhere. Whenever they come to the Northwest, I always go, okay. I called my friend Lisa, my other Lisa friend, and we're like, okay, so they're in California. Let's go see him. Northern California. Let's go see him in Seattle. We've gone to Idaho to see him. I've seen him in Nashville, Tennessee when I was on tour. I've seen him in Portland. I've probably seen him over a dozen times just because I traveled to go see him.
That's cool.
So those songs, a lot of the songs on that album are really great live, and I think they still end every show with Monstrance Clock, if I'm not.
Oh, really? I have the live album.
They always ended every concert with Monstrance Clock.
I didn't grab the live album, but I have it.
And everybody's singing along.
It is. It's a really good ending for, like you said, a live album too. Live concert. The other thing too is with this album, they started to show more of the band. Like they had they did some live AOL video or something like that. I don't know if anybody remembered. He actually took the makeup off and showed him with the makeup, what he looks like with no makeup, and he's fooling around with women or whatever the hell he's doing, and they're filming a couple songs from this. But I thought that was cool. They show you what the band kind of is about.
Well, they did a tour too that was just an acoustic tour.
That was for
I think at that time, or was that before? I thought that was for album. It was the next album. Yeah, because they couldn't really afford the tour.
Yeah.
So,
James, sorry, I missed half of that because of my internet going to complete.
I saw you flicked off.
Yeah.
But what do you think of Infestus?
It's a curveball. Gesundheit there. Like I said, there's a few songs there. Secular Haze is awesome. I could see why you can warm up to that one a lot, just singing it. Goulet is really awesome. And Monstrous Clock is a great way to end out the album. But it's different. I don't like the difference in it. I think the first album was better, but we're splitting hairs at this moment. But I saw that you see that they went in a different direction, and I did enjoy them trying to do that.
Yeah, I heard that they were influenced a lot with the Beatles on this album. I do hear a little bit of Beatles stuff on here. Lou?
I prefer the first album, but the songs on this one that really stand out make the entire listening experience, that much better. Again, Year Zero is my favorite track on it. Goulet's Zombie Queen, love that one. And even though the production is a bit iffy, it doesn't sound as, dare I say, organic as the first one, where it's you really hear the instrumentation. Still a good album, probably my least favorite of the four.
Right, I think so.
But
mine too.
Still not saying that it's a bad album.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just seeing if Greg wrote, but
are we talking about the EPs too? So
yeah.
Okay.
Go real quick.
Yeah.
Though. It's not.
Their cover of Army of Lovers Crucified on the EP that came out after this was amazing.
I love that song, and I didn't really. Well, we'll just go to it. If You Have Ghost is the EP that comes after Emphasis.
Gesundheit.
And this is the first time I ever heard of Rocky Erickson, and that song, If You Have Ghost, really blew me away, and I had to find out what the original song sounded like, and it's pretty similar, very, very close. But now I'm a huge fan of Rocky Erickson. I have to listen to everything. I don't know if anybody ever saw his documentary. The Rocky Erickson. Oh, go on YouTube and look up Rocky Erickson and documentary and watch that. It's very sad because he ended up having what is that thing where schizophrenia. And so there's some scenes in there that's like, it sucks to see because he has an apartment and then his mother was taking care of him. And he goes into his apartment, he's by himself. He turns on the TV, he turns on a piano thing, he turns on all these things just to make as much noise as possible. And he goes on a bed or his couch or whatever, and just falls asleep. It's like it's very hard to watch. It's sad, very sad.
Oh man, it's what happens when it goes undiagnosed and there's no one there to help you. It's a sad thing. What, Wayne?
Where'd you go?
I'm not here now.
Oh, there you
now
are.
You can.
Oh.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
No, I didn't touch anything.
Yeah, he did not mute himself. That's crazy.
My internet connection.
It's Papa. Papa's come back from the dead and taken over the
Papa.
mics.
Which one? There's been 3 of them.
Papa looks like he's got a gangster lean going on in front of Wayne's mic. Like, what's up, fools?
I didn't do it. I don't even know what I was saying now. You distracted me. But yeah, so
talk about Rocky Erickson.
Yeah, check out that documentary. His brother ended up helping him out. And he did kind of get back on his feet, but he ended up dying like maybe 2-3 years ago. But at least he kind of got back together on his feet and doing shows and stuff again. But anyway, so If You Have Ghosts is a really awesome song. I'm a Marionette, like James mentioned before. That's an ABBA song. It's cool. I actually got to check out the original song. I never did for some reason because I'm not an ABBA fan. Sorry.
You're not invited to the Ludwig and Swedish crepe feast, so it's all right.
No meatballs for you.
All right.
No meatballs. No wonderful potatoes. No, you'll have to peel them instead.
And we'll tell Heidi to make fun of you.
Oh man, what is going on here? Zoom quit unexpectedly.
How's that possible? We're still on. We're still live.
We're still working, so yeah, we're having some internet fun, but it's all right.
Oh, no, he's right.
What?
Oh no, wait a minute.
What?
No, we're on.
Yeah,
are you watching on YouTube?
Yeah, we have a break.
Well, someone's got to monitor this shit.
We're still on. So, but yeah, Crucified. Who's the band that did that originally?
Army of Lovers. They were an early '90s European house band.
Okay, I watched.
And yes, I love that stuff. So don't judge.
I love that song and I love that video. It was really it was
really
so over the top of the original video from the 80s. Army of Lovers. Yeah, I like this EP. I mean, I like more of Tobias's songwriting, Tobias or whatever you want to call him. I love his songwriting, but I like these covers because I can see how they resonate with him and how they helped form his repertoire of songwriting and arranging. So, and I've even seen, like spoofs. There's somebody who does these spoofs, like what if Ghost covered Van Halen or something, and it's like,
is that vocal guy that you mean?
I don't know who it is.
Okay.
There's a few of those guys out there that do that, like the country Slipknot guy and the guy who does was it Hawthorne Heights, Ohio's for Lovers, like country.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's just like they have this formula and there's these certain things that they do, like hitting on the 2, 1, 2, and stuff like that just is very Ghost. And I just love how they ghostify these songs.
By the way, we have to acknowledge Alex Rapetti, the gentleman who mixed Project Resurrect, is watching the show. So, hey, Alex.
Hey, somebody walked in.
Buy Project Resurrect merch on Bandcamp.
And he just mixed a new song for us, but I'm not going to announce it yet. So
we will not, but we're very happy. And, shout out to George from Timeless Haunt and John Witten of Shockwire for joining us on it. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that's how you pronounce his name? I thought it was John.
No, it's John, but he's a funny cat.
Fun fact. Oh, sorry about this. Fun fact about the If You Have Ghosts. Who produced this album?
Dave Grohl. I was just going to mention that.
Yeah. Got you, Wayne.
Well,
I did not know that. Oh wow.
He produced it, and he also performed on "I'm a Marionette" and "Waiting for the Night."
That actually makes sense because isn't Dave Grohl a huge Depeche Mode fan?
I don't know. I don't get too much into
Dave's a
his
fan of
personal-
everybody. It's
This is true.
ridiculous.
Most well-liked guy, except for maybe by Motown artists who he said stole the drum beat from "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
I like Dave Grohl. I think he's awesome. You know, he's influenced
I'll
me
tell you
on the
something.
drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Dave Grohl.
Brother.
That's right.
Sorry, had to.
All right, get that wrestling in here. Let's go.
There's a bass player, pardon me, from Greyhawk. Have you heard the story about Greyhawk?
No, please
There's
do.
a band called Greyhawk. There's a bass player called Darren Wall. And the band had just played a gig in Seattle. I think it was in Boise. And you know, the night was kind of wrapping up, but there were still people in the club. And he'd been watching this guy. And this guy at one point made finger guns at people and was going like this. And he kept an eye on this guy when other people were like, whatever. And at the end of the night, that guy tried to force his way into the club with a gun. And he was going to shoot up the club. And Darren stopped him. And he took a bullet, like right in his hip. And it's still there. They couldn't remove it. This happened some months ago. And so they reported about this story in like Metal Injection and some other outlets. Dave Grohl found out about it and shipped him his throne.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
I think I remember this. Yeah.
He and this guy Darren did some gigs sitting on Dave Grohl's throne, and he just shipped it back. And he himself is well enough that he loaded it in the truck. Wow. So it's really poetic. He borrowed it just long enough until he was well enough to load it himself and ship it back to Dave Grohl. So that's the kind of guy Dave Grohl is.
Yeah.
Well, he's also the kind of guy that will troll Westboro Baptist by doing a mobile concert right in front of them while doing there. That's the great. Those are so good. He's like rolling on the back of an 18-wheeler playing songs with them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all about freedom of religion, but I'm also for making fun of someone if you deserve the scrutiny.
I'm free. Everyone can practice what they want to do, but fuck those guys.
Fuck them. Thank you. I agree.
Yeah, Dave Grohl's awesome.
Yeah, I agree too. I don't like vocalizing my politics, but fuck them.
They are just
I will.
The worst.
I know you will, you red pilling bastard.
Thank you, James. Those people are vile. So good for him. So I'm sharing on the Facebook. I'm going to share on the Ghost fan club page.
Oh,
good idea.
You're Sharon.
Sharon!
What the, oh, you know what? I probably only had the box set. I don't have the other album on me, but Meloria is next. Or if I pronounce that.
Yeah, probably their more famous album.
Oh, all right. I thought you were gonna say something bad about it.
I don't really. You think that's their most famous album?
Well, that one or Pope Star, whichever one. I mean, this one has Cerise, Pinnacle in the Pit.
It is the most famous, and it's probably the best. Well, I don't know if it's their best selling, but it's the one that basically the Grammy is attached to.
Yeah, it's got He Is, it's got Absolution, it's got Pinnacle to the Pit, it's got the heavy hitter songs. If you want to call it like the prime Ghost songs, these are the songs.
Yes.
But again, they changed their sound and a lot heavier this time. Almost sounds very Metallica-ish, you know, with the guitars and especially with the drums. Very hard-hitting album this one is, is compared to the last two. And it took me by surprise a little bit because I didn't expect them to sound so heavy on this album. And but I love it. I think it's awesome. Again, most of this album is on my playlist, and it's hard to pick like a bad song off of here. But from the Pinnacle to the Pit, I mean, starts off awesome. Even the Open Spirit thing, that I like that too. Cerise, probably my favorite song off of this whole thing. Actually, it's probably tied with that. And He Is just such a really cool acoustic song. You know, I would never have thought of them doing something like that. And yeah, that's like one of their top songs. Mummy Dust is pretty cool. Majesty is really good. Devil Church, I think I can do without, but Absolution is really cool. And if I'm thinking of the right songs, I can't look at my phone, but Deus in Absentia is probably my third.
Yeah, you're missing Spook Sonata, which, you know, the Ghost Sonata is I think that one actually is one of their more undercover really good songs because it's very technical with doing a sonnet doing the whole I forget which sonnet they're doing,
Yeah.
but I know I'm butchering the Latin language, but I don't care.
I don't
That's my East Tennessee education coming out.
Oh, you're fine.
But that one I think I could do without, but it's
Well,
not bad. It's not bad.
If you'll notice on the end of Rats, the really heavy outro
Yes.
at the end of Rats is Spook Sonata.
Oh,
I thought I recognized it.
That's what it is. Dun, 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 dun.
I'll have to go back and listen to that.
That's Spook
I love
Sonata.
the ending of that song. I think that's,
Yeah, listen to those two songs back to back.
All right, I will.
You go bing, 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 bing.
All right, Lisa, what do you think about this album?
I think this is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think this is a 10 out of 10 album. This is up there with Dark Side of the Moon, if you ask me.
Wow.
Holy crap.
This is up there with the White Album. This is up there. I think this is one of the best just as a compendium, as a complete work. I think it's one of the best albums ever made, frankly. It's an audiophile's dream. Even people who don't like metal and don't, I actually gave it to I bought it for a recording engineer friend of mine because I knew how much he really appreciated it. It sounds great. The songs are great. The flow is great. Some of the songs, Majesty, that's probably my favorite song on the album. And there's some pop kind of stuff, like Absolution sounds like, it almost has like this journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of
Like
feel.
Especially in the mid part of the bridge and the chorus
Yeah.
it's very journey. It's very
Like, you just want to jump.
Yeah.
You want to jump up and down, but it also has these heavy moments like Mummy Dust. What could be heavier than Mummy Dust?
Yeah.
And I love when they do Mummy Dust live and they drop these dollar bills. I should show and tell one of my dollar. I got one of those 666. I've actually got a bunch of them.
Oh, it wasn't real currency. Boo.
It's not real currency, but
I thought the bass lick in the beginning of Pinnacle to the Pit is
Yeah.
that's just
Yes.
friggin'. I'm sorry, as a guy who dabbles in bass, that's just like, God, there we go.
oh, it's heavy
I
as
didn't
hell.
know you dabbled in bass.
Yeah.
Free
I have a
Oh,
I
that's
have
cool.
a I have a 5-string Corvette red one, yeah.
Very nice.
Very cool.
You're missing a string, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
don't
Lisa's
have
one of those people.
I'm sorry, I
Ah.
don't have I haven't played a bass in anger for a while though, so
But you got a Corvette. That's pretty cool. Sound of Wood.
And that's an Epiphone bass, right?
yes, it is.
I was actually talking to Lisa,
Oh,
but okay, James.
oh.
No. He's got a Warwick if it's a Corvette.
Oh yeah, sorry, it is Warwick. Yeah, sorry.
It's a Warwick. No, this is a Tobias.
Oh, that is a Tobias. Okay,
This
because
is Tobias.
Epiphone has a similar brand that has like a similar looking logo at the headstock, but
Yeah.
that is a beautiful bass and it sounds great on your records. So
That's my baby. That's my bass. So yeah, I appreciate all the bass licks and the bass, everything on this album, how the bass has its own parts. And it's almost like classical music, where you just have like etudes that are woven in there. Just the instrumental section in the middle of Spirit
Mm-hmm.
is and Majesty. There's just this instrumental section. You just go, okay, that's it. I'm done. All right. If I could ever write anything half as brilliant, I'd be able to drop dead the next day.
I love the timing changes in a couple of the songs. It seems like they go from 9/6 to 3/4 again, and
Yes.
they keep moving. They keep moving the timing and everything. The
The
different
intro of
songs.
Spirit. Yeah.
Lisa, you mentioned the heavy metal band of Ghost. Do you really consider them a heavy metal band? Because this is people fight about this all the time.
Yeah.
People say they're not heavy metal, or what do you think? Are they considered heavy metal?
I would say they're under the big tent. It's a big tent. It's a big umbrella, and they're probably on the outskirts of the umbrella, but they still fit under the umbrella. But I would more call them a theatrical progressive rock band. I would call them a theatrical rock band.
All right.
Yeah. More
Hey.
progressive rock.
yeah, I definitely hear progressive undertones in there. But listen, I call Soundgarden a metal band. I don't call them grunge. You
Yeah.
know, I call Periphery a metal band. I don't call them gent.
It's a
I mean,
subgenre.
but it's not even, I don't know. Like if I were to divide everything by subgenres, I go crazy. I mean, I remember once time I called Brujeria Mexican terrorist death metal, and instead of like getting exactly, that was the response I got. But that's what it sounds like. And and to me, it's just metal. Metal runs so many gamuts. It runs across so many different sounds, and but the theatrical aspect of them, I could appreciate so much because I love knowing that if you were going to see Ghost, they put on a show with the music. I like it when the artist that is performing the music is also not just looking to, please the ears, but also please the eyes. I appreciate that because it shows they're putting effort and work and time. And by the way, Lisa, The Poisoner is a perfect album. So you aced with that. Okay. So don't think otherwise ever.
You're very kind. Thank you. All inspired by Ghost. The whole thing.
That's cool.
If it weren't for Ghost, that album would never have happened. I get a little verklempt.
Wow. See, I wish Greg
Fine.
was here.
I'll let you
Now
talk
he's
amongst
For
yourself.
Ghost, it would never happen.
Talk about yourself.
Lou, what do you think of yeah.
Melanoma,
Malaria.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
Get rid
malaria
of
bad.
melanoma.
What do you
It's a
think of
horrible
malaria?
disease. Okay, so I love this fucking album. I'm not gonna lie. It's so different from their first two albums, and I love it because it did get heavier, but at the same token, the melodies are killer. And Wayne, I'm a sucker for a good melody. Yeah. I'm a sucker for dynamics, and not just hearing a good song, but hearing the skill set of the people writing the songs and performing the music. This album, it's got it. For me, standout tracks. Spirit itself, what a killer opening track. Cerise, of course, He Is, and Majesty. And and it's funny because I have the deluxe edition on my phone, so Square Hammer's part of that, but it wasn't on the original release. But not a bad song on this album. And for me, it was a step up from the first two, and that's what you want from your bands. You want them to progress. You want them to get better, not in a sense go commercial, but just get better. And if when it resonates with the audience like this one does, this album got them opening for Iron Maiden on the Book of Souls tour. So what does that tell you?
Right. Yeah. James?
I agree with everything that Lou said there, actually. And I'll probably go just a skosh further. I think the reason why they got the commercial success was because of their progression into everything. But I just think the show they put on is amazing because you don't know what you're getting when you get in there because their shows are different. They pull the what I like to call the old James Brown, the old Aretha Franklin, where not one show's not the same. So you go in a different night. That might be the night the Pope, the Papa Maris dies. Who knows? The Pope might come out, play saxophone. Who knows? You don't know what you're getting, and that's half the fun. And just every single song. I think Pinnacle, From the Pinnacle to the Pit is one of their best songs, and also is Absolution. I love those two songs. I do enjoy the Spook Sonata and Spirit, but the only song I don't like that much is actually Mummy Dust, but I know that's probably me. It's not my favorite song out of the album. That's actually I think is one of their weaker songs. I think all the other songs are so good. I think that's one of their weaker songs, but that's maybe because it's so different than their other songs. Yeah. To me, that's all my opinion. And my opinion is about as good as dirt. So
not true.
I love that song. I love it. What I love the most about that song is when he goes,
yes. And got the keyboard.
And he holds the S and he sits on the S.
Yes, he does. He sits on that. So he extends that for three whole friggin'.
It's creepy.
It is. It's great.
It's creepy sounding.
But I think that whole album has got creepy sounds just rolling through it. Like I showed my friend because I live in East Tennessee. I have a bunch of Christian friends. I had him play Cerise and or Cerise or however you want to say it.
Cerise.
And he just goes, "What are you listening to? What has Lily done this time?" What is Lily doing this time? What is he conjuring this time? It's like, shh.
All right, so then after that album, we move to Pope Star, another EP. And this is where Square Hammer is on for the first time. I don't know. I don't like this one as much as the first EP, if I have Ghost or if you have Ghost. Nocturnal Me is okay. I Believe is all right. Missionary Man, I don't like that song. But the best song on here is Bible. And I don't know who that's originally performed by Impere. Imperit. I don't know how to pronounce that. But that is the best song on this whole thing, Bible. I think it's even better than Square Hammer.
I don't know. I love Square Hammer.
I do too. I do
too.
That's
like my favorite Ghost song is actually Square Hammer.
Really? But the thing I like about the Bible is it's a satanic song. I mean, a satanic band singing about like, a Christian song. So it's kind of, it's fucked up.
It just fucks with you.
Yeah. So I like it that way, I think it's cool. What does everybody else think about the EP, Pope Star?
I'll let someone else go first, please.
I'll let James go first this time.
Like I said, it has Square Hammer on there, so it's an immediate win for me. I love that song. I enjoy them doing covers. I think they're like Metallica. They're a secretly really great cover band that just so happens to have the original music also.
Is there a cover song that you would like them to do?
It's got to be something really demented. So I got to think. Give me a second. Let talk amongst yourselves here. Let me marinate on that one.
I got it. I'd like to hear them do Rushes Closer to the Heart because they would totally like evil that up.
Actually, I want to go opposite. I would love for them to do like a Garth Brooks song or something like that, just to completely flip it on somebody's head. These bands that or something like that, just like flip it around and take another genre song and just.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Do you think all the Cardinals exes live in Texas? I mean, come on, seriously.
Hey, that's why he hangs his hat in Tennessee. Okay.
Walked right into that one.
I want to hear him do The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
This is the second time this week someone's referenced that song.
I never even heard of that.
It's a Gordon Lightfoot song from 1976.
Oh my god!
I don't know by name. If I
he's not a good Canadian boy. There, he doesn't know the good things of the tragically
I might
hip
just not know the name.
Gordon Lightfoot. There, okay.
I'll look it up.
It's a sea shanty.
Yeah, but what a killer sea shanty.
It's the bestest.
No, actually, that was low taste. They all died on that boat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what's great about this story,
Spoiler alert, Wayne, they died.
Oh no.
They all died.
Which is perfect for a ghost song.
In the new Halloween movie, Michael Myers lives. So there you go. Lou.
Oh.
Wow.
Shocker.
What an original premise.
What is
a Michael Myers movie where he lives? Anyways. I still have to watch Halloween 3 as per Greg's recommendation. I love the CP, and it was because of Square Hammer, where I could say that I thought Ghost was taking what they were doing, and I thought with Square Hammer they were really going to hit the pop charts. It ended up not happening that way. I mean,
soon.
I remember Tobias actually said in an interview that he wrote Square Hammer to be like the perfect opening song for like their concerts, sort of like what Rock Till You Drop is for Def Leppard. But it didn't work out that way on the charts. Still, it was great. First time I saw it used in anything, this was when I was still watching Combat Zone Wrestling. It was Cage of Death 2016, and it was the song that they had in the promo video for it. And I thought it worked really well. And I was like, I didn't realize it was Ghost until I looked it up, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even know Pope Star came out. So it reeled me in.
That's funny because NXT used it too.
Yes, they did. They used Square Hammer for one of their takeovers.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Pope Star. When I first heard it, I was coming off of Meliora, really.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, wow, this is really kind of dumbed down. This is really simple. Where's my prog? And then I listened to Square Hammer again, and it's like, oh wait, the keyboard does this here. and then it doesn't happen again. Instead, they've got this guitar thing that comes in here. And it's just like, the more I listened to the song and to the album, I was like, this is really clever. This is really, because they're taking something that's more square, more simple, more arena rock, which is what he was saying. His whole goal has been, I'm going to play big arenas. And when you're playing big arenas, I've heard Slayer in a big arena. And Slayer sounds like shit in a big arena. Sorry, the more notes you play, the crappier you sound in an arena. So this big bombastic, simple song, but with all these nice little tweaks in there. And it works so good as an opener. And I've seen them open with that, several times, having followed them around. And they had this unusual light show that went with it, where the lights from one side, they'd have this white light on either side that alternated, boom, boom. And they would stand straight ahead, and it would light either side of the mask, flashing left and right. And it was just like, it was just so beautifully
the
done.
Chef's kiss.
Whole thing was just freaking artful. Nocturnal Me, it's just, that's spine-tinglingly good. Let's see. I wasn't crazy about Missionary Man just because, Annie Lennox sings it so soulfully. And he just sounds so square. I
think that's what he was
Very
going for. I think he knew
Really
he couldn't hold the candle to the Eurythmics. So yeah,
so not hip. But Bible, I agree. That song is it just, there's something really except for I was kind of disappointed when he did the whole God's voice, like from the sky, like, screw you guys, I was kind of disappointed when he did that, because the song up till then sounded so deep and so serious and intense. And it is kind of like it to me, that is an addendum to Deus in absentia, which is the absence of God. So I think that's what the message of that is like, okay, you guys want to make your own hell on earth? Bye. Fine.
I think, are they going with a theme?
I think they have a theme here. I think, although I kind of enjoyed the Monty Python God bit right in the middle of it, just because it's Monty Python, and
Yeah.
By the way, the NXT they used Square Hammer was NXT Takeover San Antonio with the Nakamura Bobby Roode match as the main event. So anyway,
after the Pope Star thing was released, not too much longer after, the band pretty much broke up and just left Tobias on his own.
Or did Tobias fire them?
They quit.
I think they quit.
They quit and they sued him.
Yeah, because they weren't making any money. Supposedly all the money was going towards the stage stuff and all, the merchandise and all that kind of stuff. So they weren't really, which blows my mind. Especially with a band that's selling this much, this has this much merchandise and everything. It just sucks to know that they can't make any money.
Well, here's the question you have to ask. Oh, sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
There's so many people attached to a band. When they get to that level, when they have label, they have management, they have touring, they were doing meet and greets every freaking day. And then they're getting in this whole get up. They were busting their ass. The band was busting their ass. And frankly, I blame Tobias for the lawsuit, for everything, simply because if you're the band leader, you need to be clear. Everything needs to be very clear. And I really doubt they were, I doubt that they were making profits to share. I doubt they were, but I don't think he made himself very clear. And I don't think they had contracts that were clear. So.
I mean, that's actually pertaining to the question that I was going to ask. Who owns Ghost? It's Tobias only?
Pretty much.
Well, then,
That's
as I said in
Sweden say.
As I said in a past episode of my podcast, about the hired gun, read your damn contract before you sign on to anything.
Yeah. The lawyers make a lot of money, but they're also probably good when they need to read through that bad boy before you sign your life away to it. Yeah. Knowing a couple of things about signing your life away to a crazy contract.
Peter Steele said it himself. There's no bad thing there's no such thing as a bad record contract. Just read the thing and don't have the labels lawyers read it for you. Hire one, because guess what? That return of investment will pay off later on. All right, this is the end of my public service announcement. Let's go.
All right, and he's off the soapbox.
So
Am I wrong?
No,
Am I
you're
wrong?
not. That's the thing. No,
No,
you're
Fight
100% right.
me.
Yeah. You like that? Fight me.
That's
That's the wrestling podcast. That's later.
That's later on. So then Tobias is on his own. I think he pretty much did this whole album on his own. Am I correct? Yeah, I think there's programmed drums. I don't think there's like a real drummer on this album. Is there? Not sure. I didn't really
can't
look at the
answer
info.
that.
No idea. They're all nameless schools to me.
Right. So
Yeah.
but I think
And a nameless Goulette now.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there's a
Two.
goulet.
actually I think there's two of them.
Two
Yeah.
of them.
There are dos goulets.
Goulet.
It's funny how he wasn't able to pay the previous band, which was like a lot less people. Now there's more people in the band. So how does that work?
The residuals came.
That was his goal. That was his goal, was to have all this performed live. And I'm very happy he's
Yeah, no,
Hit that goal.
I still love him, so it's cool with me, whatever. But the next album, Prequel, really cool album cover, and this is actually based off the Sepultura album. Off the first one, I believe, or no, the second one. Can't remember what the name of it is.
Schizophrenia?
No, the one before that.
Bestial devastation. No, that's not it.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah. So this was based off of that album cover, which he actually has a tattoo of the Sepultura on his arm. That album cover.
Huh.
So this one, the first song off of this album, Rats, that song blew me away. I'm like, all right, now this is my favorite favorite Ghost song.
Favorite rat song?
Favorite
Not
rat song.
Running
Exactly.
Around.
Favorite
yeah.
Rat Sound Review song. No, the Rats was my favorite Ghost song. I'm like, holy shit, it just blew me away. And the video too. The video was cool. We talked about that earlier, with the dancing and everything. So yeah, I couldn't stop listening to that song. And then the album came out and I got it. And actually the other thing that was about this album when it came out, if you went to Best Buy, you could get the CD for $1.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either.
know that. Yeah.
I didn't know it either. Nobody did. But I went to Best Buy. It said like $9.99 on the CD itself. He went up to the register and it came up $1.99. And the guy was like looking at me. I was like, I don't know. So he gave it to me. So then I went back and bought like 2 more, but with my wife and another friend of mine. I was like, all right, it's only $1.
Everyone gets a Christmas gift this year. Here you go.
There you go, kids. Here's your
Yeah.
stocking stuffer. The kids love it.
Which was funny because, and I also think like this was shit. I hope I am thinking of the right. Maybe that might have been the last album, Malaria. Either or, doesn't matter. But it was like,
Oh, Lisa's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
she's
yeah.
got a phone call or something. But actually, yeah, I think it was the Malaria. If I don't pronounce that correctly. What is the name of that? Malaria?
Like I said, I'm butchering the Latin language at the moment, so
Yeah,
I'm not a thing. I just thought it was so weird. 'cause, like,
Meliora.
yeah, Meliora. Yeah, it sounds better, but
Melanoma, as I called it.
yeah, that's bad too. This,
That
yeah,
was-
when
I'm talking
Rats
the wrong
came
album.
out, I actually looked at my because heard it on XM as I was driving,
Mhm.
and literally looked and went,
There you go.
"Is this Ghost?
Lisa.
Hey,
Back.
she's back."
My eyeballs were floating.
But
Oh my God, James has been silenced.
I
Hell's
got-
frozen over.
I got cracked. Yes, I got it. You got me. Just like when I heard Rats come out, and I'm like, who the hell is coming out with this lick at them? Like, who's dropping the freaking 80s licks going on?
Yeah.
Who's dropping the hair metal band? And it's like, this is Ghost. I'm like, no. And then I see it like, yeah, that's Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole, a lot of people do not like this album, and I understand why, because there's a lot of filler.
Because
on
they're
here.
stupid.
No, they're not stupid, because like it starts
They're
off
wrong
awesome.
and they're stupid.
No, I don't know if they're wrong. All right. It starts off with Rats. It's got an intro, but then it starts off with Rats. Faith is pretty cool. Then See the Light. Then it kind of gets brought down, and then
Mhm.
Miasma. That's that the soul, the instrumental, and then it goes to Dance Macabre, and then Pro Miora. There's another like instrumental type thing, and then Which Image, and I think even Hell. I can't pronounce that. Hell of that's like another instrumental thing, isn't it?
Yes,
There's a lot of instrumental things and
lots of instrumentals going down.
yeah,
That
intermission
are
type things.
fantastic.
I don't mind them, but I think for the length of this album, I think it's too much. Like if it was a longer album, okay, But seeing that this album's only like 40, 45 minutes, maybe, if that.
41 and 43 seconds.
Yeah, so it's too short of an album to have this many in between song things. It's just weird to me. But besides that, there are good songs. Dance Macabre, it's a really cool song, and it's very dancey, but it's a cool song. And like we talked earlier, it's a very ABBA-ish sounding song. Which Image is my second favorite, and Life Eternal, the last song on this album, is just really cool. Just the way that chorus is it builds up. It's just very, very cool. I love how melodic that thing is.
I almost feel like Dance Macabre is just one of those like classic, like you hear on the rock station type songs back when we were like growing up as kids. It's a lot like Journey. It's a lot like, you know, all those type of bands. It's very upbeat and everything, but we're talking about them dancing the night away when one of them's about to die or something, you know, and they're just trying to enjoy the night.
I didn't know there was a video until we had last week's show.
Oh, the video is awesome.
I only saw the first video where it was like Kirk Hammett and Chris Jericho was in it, and they were dancing to the song. I never knew there was like an official video.
Oh, the official video is great, because isn't that Tobias as the punk kid?
I believe so.
Yeah, the one who gets eaten by all the ghouls, like at the beginning.
Yeah. I just watched that the other day with my son for the first time, so it was pretty cool.
So your son's now becoming a man because he saw the ghoul dancers and doing their nice little choreograph.
Yeah, he saw all that stuff. Lisa, what do you think about Prequel?
Yeah, I love this album, and it had to grow on me because it was more big, broad strokes. You know, I really like the instrumentals. And people are like, saxophone, what the hell? There's no saxophone metal, but I think it works really well.
If it works, why do people get bothered by it? You know, I don't understand that.
If it works, why
because
does
it's not true metal.
You can do whatever the hell you want. That's why I love him. He doesn't care what you think. He really
Amen to that.
If saxophone, trumpets, and trombones didn't exist, ska would never have become what it is.
Well, we can forgive it for something.
Hey! Do not be hating on the Aquabats on my.
I'm not hating on the Aquabats. It's what they spawned. Some of what they spawned after.
Anyway.
Sorry, Lisa.
Sorry, Lisa.
This is what I do.
Sorry, Miss
What the hell are you guys talking about?
Especially with James on the show, he don't stop.
I will never stay on topic ever.
Put me with him, we'll never stop.
Yeah, no, they're terrible.
Lisa, you have the floor. Apologies.
If I'm looking at the lyrics, Faith, that song is just like, to those guys that
exactly.
shoot him, that song is just, the lyrics are really intense, and it's a heavy song.
You can even tell with Rats too.
Rats, yes.
That's got to be about his previous band members.
A lot of lyric content is like that. Pro Memoria, that's really deep. That is some really heavy philosophical stuff. And is it Helvetis
Good luck.
That's actually sounds really good. The Helvetis Fonter,
yeah, that song really is an introduction. It's really an intro to Life Eternal. And to me, you have to get the full experience, you have to listen to those two tracks back to back. Now, I have to admit something very personal. That song, Life Eternal, when I first heard it, I cried my eyes out. And the second time I heard it, I cried my eyes out. And I couldn't listen to this fucking song without bawling my eyes out. For the longest time, I was like, I have to skip. I'm driving, I'm with the band, whatever. It's like, I have to skip this song. I can't deal with it. And it made me think of my mom and the people I've lost. And it's just like, it just got me right there. So I got curious. And I went, I looked on their YouTube channel, and I looked at the comments in the YouTube, it just has the picture of the album. And there's hundreds of comments of people saying, I can't listen to this song without crying. This song makes me cry every single time. I think about my brother when I hear this song. I think about my mom when I hear this song. And it's really profound that somebody could write a song that hits people in this really deeply emotional way. And wow, live, it's really powerful too. So, I got to credit the guy for writing this incredible song. Yeah, I haven't looked, because sometimes I go to the Harry Fox and you can do the inquiry and find out who wrote what.
Right.
But you have to take that with a grain of salt because like the producer of Meliora, what's his name? Klaus Holland, attached his name to some songs. But there's a long history of producers attaching their names to songs that they only wrote a little snippet of, or they didn't write anything to.
Mutt Lang.
Sam Lay. So, but wow, that song in itself. But I always say, listen to track 9 before you listen to that, and it becomes this real emotional ride. And the bell that rings in the beginning, that church bell. It's just it's experiential. So it's kind of interesting because it's like there's so many different things. Like Which Image is just so it's almost goofy. Not Which Image. Which one is it? Dance Macabre.
Right.
It's almost goofy. It's fun.
Yeah, it's out of place on the album a little bit.
It's almost it's disco. It's got disco beat to it,
it's a party, and so to go through all of that, and so there's just so much of an emotional roller coaster in this album. But it did take a few listens for it to grow on me. It wasn't like Meliora where I was just like, okay, this is like the best album on the planet right away.
Yeah, you can tell this album was kind of made for him being on a big arena. It's kind of more of like a play type thing. And the great Harry Barnett has joined us in the chat, and he goes, "I like the show, but I do want one of the CDs to replace Wayne as host of the show." Thanks, Harry.
Hey up, Chuck.
Harry's mad at you for trashing his what was it, culinary ideas, or what was it? He had some of. Oh wait, what was that bad opinion he had? He always has Seinfeld. It was Seinfeld. He didn't like Seinfeld. Yeah, exactly. He was wrong.
It's totally wrong. Crazy.
Wrong.
James, what do you think? What do you think of Prequel, James?
Oh, it's one of those. It's an emotional roller coaster. Lisa put it. It's an emotional roller coaster because you have all those fun, lighthearted songs, and then it comes at you like a freaking truck at the end and hits you in this unmitigated feels attack right to the heart. Because I mean, I did the same thing. I was thinking of my mother and my now my stepfather. I've had a lot of loss in my life, and I just was thinking about all these people that I've met and lost, and it's just it comes out and it hits you. And you can't be listening to that while driving. Luckily, I didn't this time. I was going through their entire catalog yesterday as I was driving home from work, and I'm very, very lucky that I did not get to Prequel before, or that'd have been bad. You would have seen a pile up on I-40. But
I'm sure he was thinking about his brother.
Oh yeah,
most definitely. That song. So he gets the emotion, and he's able to encapsulate that in musical form and just deliver that right to the listener. It goes right into the ear, into the heart. I mean, that's just a magical skill. Yeah. That's it just blows my mind. So I just really admire that guy so much.
Yeah, that's why I love this band so much, because they can just fit so much into a short song. They don't have to make these big long songs, but 8 minutes long, and put all these parts in it. They can,
or like I made an 18-minute song.
If they don't need to do all that
dirigibles
stuff. And then they keep their album short, around 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so, and they make you want more. Like, I can't wait for the next album to come out. So I like that.
I think Life Eternal is a lot like what's the Tool 10,000 from 10,000 Eyes, the one where he's talking about his mother. You mean? It's 10,000 Days. I think it's 10,000 Eyes is the song. The one where it's about his mother and everything. Hold on, I'm trying to figure it.
Wasn't Judith about his mother from A Perfect Circle?
I'm not sure. But it's just one of those things. Like it resonates with me like that song does, and it just keeps going for me. But
the great Harry Barnett said, James, I'm not going to bury someone who looks like me, but Seinfeld is to TV what garbage is to all of human senses.
It's still he's okay to be wrong. I mean, he is the evil me for a reason. I mean, let's be real here. 10,000 Days Wings Part 2 is it like Life Eternal is a lot like that song.
Yeah,
I have that feeling. That's what I get the same feeling out of that.
Blue Prequel.
It's my favorite Ghost album.
Kill.
Interesting.
What'd you say, Lisa?
Prequel.
Prequel. Well, whatever.
Prequel.
I haven't pronounced one of these names correct.
Yeah, we're definitely going on the butchering Latin languages today.
So it's my favorite Ghost album. There, I'll butcher the American.
I like it. I like it.
Big reason why is because this was the last album that I listened to before my daughter was born, and the month of June was right around the time that we were, my wife was supposed to give birth. However, Anna decided to stay in the belly one more month, so she ended up becoming a July baby. So I'm like, all right, we got to get her out of here. But regardless, it was the last album that I listened to before she was born. And, I just remember that my wife and I were spending, more time on the weekends, just like driving out, going nowhere, just having fun, enjoying our last month of freedom, I guess you could say. And I said, hey, you want to hear this
out east?
What's that?
Is that when I saw you?
That's how long we've been friends, people. And I said, hey, you want to hear the new Ghost album? She said, who's Ghost? I'm like, well, they're a metal band, but I think you might like it. And I played her Rats and Dance Macabre. And she said, oh, they're really good. And I said, you know what? My wife, who is a music composer, she's a graduate of SUNY Purchase from Conservatory of Music. She has her own music that she's released. She's very hard to convince that it's good. And the moment she heard those two songs, she was like, they're really good. And, I was like, I finally have a band that I could share with her, because she hates most of my music. So I was so happy that I was able to share that with her. And I'm not one of these guys who thinks that it's a sign of weakness if, you and your wife like the same kind of thing, regardless of whatever genre is. I think it's great. And, it's like something that you could both listen to without telling the other people, can you please turn it off? And it was finally an album that she could listen to. It was an album that I loved. Dance Macabre, I thought, has one of the best lyrical double entendres ever, where he says, I want to be with you in the moonlight. It sounds like he's saying, I want to be with you in the moonlight, but he's saying be with you. And I'm like, I see what you did there. And I have to credit Ralph Vieira for pointing that out, because he's the one that said it was like metal meets ABBA. And I'm like, you know what? That's the best way to explain this song. It's perfect. It's a perfect pop song. And, the big reason why this album means that much to me is because, I hear Life Eternal and I think about my dad and my brother. I miss them dearly. My brother Mikey was the reason why I wanted to become a musician, more than Eddie, more than Iommi, more than Rhodes, more than anybody else. Seeing him pick up a bass made me want to play guitar. And my father, believed in what I was doing so much that he bought me my first acoustic for Christmas in '92. And I was just like, I hearing this song, I'm really missing them. And I wish they were here to see my daughter. But, though, that's a personal thing. And, I have to say thank you, Ghost, for, creating such a beautiful, cathartic album like this. I love it. It's my favorite album from them. So no apologies.
Very, very cool. Texas Troy, 78. Ghost is a pretty badass band, in my opinion. The I hate pronouncing this word. Oh my God. Aesthetics.
The aesthetics.
Aesthetics.
Of Merciful Fate and Alice Cooper. I don't hear Merciful Fate in Ghost. I just don't. I can hear some Alice Cooper, but I don't hear Ghost.
It's the aesthetics. It's the look.
Yeah.
The look,
with the sound of refined pop rock band.
So. Yeah. A pop rock band that has musical skill.
Yeah.
Because some of those bands don't, but that is, I think that's what they were going for with this album, and then him to like slip in a few of those different songs in there. But he really, he was trying to go for maybe he was trying to go for the Spaceballs too, the Search for More Money in the album.
Now, Rats was about the plague, right? The plague that
pretty prescient, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Prescient. When you think about the lyrics to that song now, it's like,
to 18 months later.
Yeah.
This is the longest 2 fucking weeks of my life.
The longest 2 weeks. Yeah, just one big long day.
Speaking of long things, after this
Hey
album,
now.
Hey now.
they
Hey.
released the 6 inches of Satanic Panic.
Kiss the
It's,
Go-Goat is a killer song.
It is a really killer song. It annoys the shit out of the woman I work with that works right behind me because she's a very religious person, and they always tell me to play this song.
It's
So I
okay,
play
hon.
it.
Papa loves you too.
So I love
7 inches.
the Kiss the Go-Go. It's really awesome. And Mariana Cross is cool. The cool thing about this is actually Papa Nil, or supposed to be Papa Nil back in the day from like the 1969.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why it has that
Why?
dated sound to it. Okay.
Why it has that very dated sound. And even on the vinyl itself, it looks very very 60s.
Oh, okay.
So that's a little tidbit.
I like that. Did you get to listen to the deluxe CD with the It's a Sin and Avalanche, the 2 covers from the deluxe edition of
Yes.
Prequel?
Mhm.
You know, them doing a
Forgot
Pet
they were
Shop
on there.
Boys cover.
It's to be expected. I liked it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's all right. Texas Troy, the skill and songwriting is important to band. Yes, it is very much. And now the last song just came out, I believe, maybe a week ago. Hunter's Moon, and it's also the ending song on the Halloween Kills movie. Like I said in the beginning of this, my son heard that song one time and he loves it. He loves that song, and I do too. I think it's a really good song. I didn't like it at first. It grew on me though after listening to it a couple of times, and I really think it's a really good song.
I really hated at first the guitar in it because I was just like,
It's
it
very
just came.
weird. It's like that squealing thing. I'm like,
It
that a
was
keyboard or a
squealing. It was
guitar?
squealing at different times for me, and until I actually like, because like I had it on really low. I was just it was me and my wife driving back from like, Pigeon Forge or something like that. We went on our I think it was like our anniversary dinner or something like that, and we were driving back and I heard it and I was like, oh cool, new Ghost. And I heard it, I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And then then I played it again this week and I heard it again and I heard a lot more of the refinement in it. And yes, it is a really good song.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of listens to actually listen to everything all at once as a completed thing. Because if you just hear just the lyrics and the guitar, it's not good. But if you hear everything together, it's good.
At least I saw you making some gestures. Apparently, you like this song.
I like this song. I do. As for like the 7 inches thing, it was, to me, it was cute. And it was like a little fun thing that they kind of did over here, but it wasn't anything. Those 2 songs weren't,
Right. Yeah.
they're like a little side project, a kind of fun thing that they did. But, have you heard Zenith?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That's a great track. That was a song that didn't make it to Meliora. And it's only, or I think it's only on certain vinyl records. So check out
it's in the
Zenith.
box set.
That is a freaking great song. But this new song, Hunter's Moon, I found out it was in that movie and I was like, cha-ching. I'm thinking about those poor bastards that quit the band and sued him. And it's like, okay, now they're making piles of money.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think this is a great song. I think, again, it's kind of like when I first heard Rats, that I thought, okay, this is simple. And also, Square Hammer, where this is really simple stuff, broad brushes, but then there's these little tweaks. And it's like, oh, that's something Genesis might have done. Wow, this is really clever. And so the more I listen to this song, the more I hear in it. And it's got this really cool, heavy breakdown in the middle, this instrumental part. I like the guitar tone. I think it's just a continuation of that dreamy, creamy guitar tone that has become signature to their sound. But yeah, the more I hear this song, the more it grows on me, and the more I hear these little musical tweaks. So it's poppy and it's bombastic and big and simple in a lot of ways, but it's not as simple as first listen tells you.
Right. Yeah, they picked him to be on the soundtrack for the Halloween album, and they thought they was going to write a song specifically for the movie. But he said he had so many songs written, and he just picked this one, and it kind of does go a little bit with the theme of the movie. So
yeah,
it's a cool song. Lou,
I liked it. I think it was a good track. Once again, Tobias is really showing a an incredible sense of melody. And what I appreciate about him is that he takes everything that he was influenced by and throws it into that proverbial blender. And no matter what, it's still going to sound like Ghost. So this has only wet my beak, to quote The Godfather Part 2, for future Ghost releases.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what the next album's going to sound like. I really. Why are you laughing?
You keep your wet beak to yourself, mister.
Quack, quack to you, Lisa.
Oh, that was the Ghost discography, and thank you very much for joining us, Lisa. Had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
It's been a while since we've seen you, so it's been fun.
Yeah, when you said this is what you're going to talk about, because I'm like obsessed with Ghost.
I know you were, so
and I will drive across country to see Ghost.
I know I couldn't do the show without you, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's a better idea of enjoying a show but having an In-N-Out burger and then going to a Ghost concert? I mean, that sounds like a great thing for me.
I don't have that In-N-Out.
Although you did kiss the elder without me, so I'm kind of hurt.
His idea.
I'm sorry.
You did kiss the elder without me.
We can always do it again.
I'll do it again.
Do it again. Obsessed.
I didn't know.
Yeah, well, hey, you guys did an unmasked without me, Lisa.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
Fine then. Album versus album. Lisa and Lou.
There we go.
Lou, I love you. I don't know how you're gonna fare in that battle.
Oh, I'll lose willingly. It's okay. Lisa owns. No, Lisa pounds.
I was about to say that. I was gonna say Lou, I love you, but I think you're biting off a little bit too much. You can
I wouldn't. Lisa, there's one thing I have to tell you though. So I played Stargazer for my wife, and as much as she respects the vocal talents of Ronnie James Dio, she thought your version was the best one.
That's very sweet.
So.
Wow, that's very sweet. Thank you. Because there's a lot of great versions out there. Of course, I think Dio's is the best, and I could never assume that I could,
But like Tobias, you were just being yourself, and it showed, and it rocked.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tell your wife I said thank you. And thanks for listening. It's a big listen. It's a long ass song. We went longer.
The greatest song ever written. Doesn't matter how long it is.
Love that song.
Everybody go check that out on Spotify. It's probably on everything, right?
I
don't imagine. So
it's out there.
Texas Troy is this broadcast belongs to them series complete. Will there be more episodes? Yes, there will be more episodes. It's just trying to get all of us together at the same time, because Lisa does a show, Ralph does the show, and Greg does.
And Ralph's in the hospital.
Ralph's in the hospital right now, and Greg got some issues with work. So when we can never get on schedule with each other, then yes, there will be more. Because we still have the Matt Thompson interview that we did, Lisa.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we never put that out. We did.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, and then we did an interview with the bass player from House of God.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago. So it's not done. It's just we got to get back on track with each other. So that's all.
It's still in production. It is still in production.
So just hold your horses. Lisa, what do you got going on?
Well, I am going to lay down some vocal tracks pretty soon for the new Splintered Throne album. I joined this band in 2019 before all this craziness. And so with COVID and restrictions and also family issues, and people have day jobs and all this stuff, everything just seemed to be slowing us down. But finally, a lot of tracks are in the can. I think these songs are going to be absolutely brilliant. It's got some power metal influences, some early thrash influences, but it's still very melodic metal. And I think you guys are going to freaking love this album.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I checked out the earlier stuff, and I still have to buy those CDs too. But
yeah, it's good stuff, man.
I can't wait to hear it with you in there, so that'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be different. It's going to sound different. Yeah. But it's still, got that same, powerful strain that the rest of the music has.
Very cool. What about your other stuff, your blues music and
the blues stuff? Actually the night before Thanksgiving, I'm venturing out to Riverside, Iowa, which is well known as the birthplace of James T. Kirk. But there's a casino.
Astronaut now. Proper astronaut.
Astronaut, I know. Freaking oh man, if Jeff Bezos, I was like before that, I was like, if he kills Captain Kirk, I'm gonna.
He was doing it for Ricardo Montalban.
That's
Bezos.
Bezos.
But I'm going out to the Riverside Casino, and it's a Ladies of Blues Rock. Avi Grouse band will be there. Jenny Grouse is our hostess. Gaya Degbalola will be there. Terry O'Dabi, Laura Price. I'm like totally forgetting everybody that's going to be there, but it's going to be a really huge women's blues rock showcase at the Riverside Casino in Riverside, Iowa on November 24th. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Glad to hear you got a lot of stuff going on.
I
And
got some stuff going
What
on.
about White Corona? Are we doing anything with that?
What, you know what I'm doing?
What?
I'm trying to get better as a guitar player.
Mm.
I'm trying to get better because I have some songs that are sitting in the DAW and I got to get them out, but I am a crappy guitar player. So I have to get better,
Yeah.
you know, because I did all the guitar, almost all the guitars on the Poisoner. So I did all the bass, vocals, and I did almost all the guitars except for 2 solos. But there was a lot of punching in. So these strings
we
are
all
so
do.
tiny. So if you guys have any like guitar tutorial videos, I've been really like finding people who are like showing how to play like the King Diamond and Merciful Fate stuff and Judas Priest and Iron Maiden on YouTube. I'm just finding YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any like tutorial people, like YouTube people that you can recommend, you know,
Lou,
Lou, especially, I'm sure you have some recommendations.
Speaking of
Send me a
crappy
message.
guitarists, Lou.
Speaking
Yeah.
of ripping guitar,
Did you even hear what I said?
Speaking of rhythm
No,
guitarists,
crappy guitarists.
oh, what a
Oh.
thought.
yeah, I know. I stink because I'm the shit. Anyways,
Terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, I'm sure you could show Lisa some guitar people now on YouTube.
jump on a Zoom with me anytime, Lisa. I'll be happy to help you.
Dude, let's do that. I need
All
help.
right.
Seriously.
You don't
Okay.
need YouTube, you need LuTube.
I need YouTube. Yeah.
We call it lube.
Oh,
Tell me what I'm doing wrong.
not everybody.
Starring Dave Ellefson. What do you got going on?
I've never been so violated on Hot Salad Review until now, and I thought Eric Adams would have beaten you to it, Wayne. Wow.
Oh god! Wait, before we continue, did anybody see the Blabbermouth headline with the?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. He poured his
spit
heart
take.
and soul into it.
His DNA is all
DNA is
over.
all
His DNA is all over it.
all over the webcam.
Seriously,
that
whoever
couldn't get
is
better.
doing Blabbermouth's headlines right now, dude, like
I thought that was purposely
No,
done.
keep going.
low blow, no
Keep
pun intended.
going. Just keep her going. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Dig that hole, man.
Lou, you have some cool stuff going on.
Well, I recorded the cover song with you, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm happy to say that for the first time ever, Wayne and I are actually going to be contributing or are on the ballot to be on a tribute album of the band that we just covered. We'll keep you posted on that news. And again, thanks to Alex for doing a great job of mixing and mastering the song, George from Timeless Haunt for playing bass, and John for doing rhythm guitar and vocals. Wayne, killer drum sounds as always.
All right.
You know, I love your drumming, even though you think I'm a shitty guitar player. That's okay. Fuck you anyway.
Joking.
I know, I'm kidding. And let's see. Well, I'm turning the big 4-1 next week. So
Congratulations.
Baby.
But your podcast, your Music is Life podcast, you just had people from Def Leppard on your show.
well, not people from Def Leppard particularly,
right.
but I just interviewed Lorelei Shellist, who was engaged to Steve Clark.
Mhm.
And we talked to her about her book, Runway Runaway, her career, her charities, and of course, we talked about her time with Steve and, just so much. And she was incredibly wonderful. I mean, I can't say anything bad about her. She was just so courteous with her time. And, again, Lorelai, if you're watching, again, thank you. I can't speak your praises publicly enough. And just last night, I interviewed Helen Cullen, who is the wife of Def Leppard guitarist Phil Cullen. So we spoke to her about her career as a Broadway tailor and stylist, her current career as a photographer, and about a lot of the charities that she works with, including Beat Stage 3, which is a cancer charity that she does, and also one that she works with called Black Girls Rock, where it's about empowering Black female youth to, overcome their boundaries and, just, do good in life, which I think it's incredibly wonderful, and it's encouraging. And, I mean, she started out a humble girl from, her beginnings in Brooklyn, and, she's living a good life right now. And like Lorelai, she just wants to provide and give. And, it was a pleasure having both of them. I apologize. It's been over a month since I did the interview with Lorelai, but I had some family things going on, which I'm not at liberty to discuss, but I'm okay. So that's all you need to know. So's my wife and daughter. And I'm looking forward to releasing these episodes. I feel like they were some of the best interviews I've ever done. And again, thank you, Lorelai, and thank you, Helen.
Very cool. Can't wait to see them. And James, you got anything going on? Great.
Not right now. We're getting ready though. Although big GCW pay-per-views coming up this weekend.
That's right. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport.
Yes, I'm gonna be watching Minoru Suzuki and Chris Dickinson have some fun. But other than that, nothing rare. We're still waiting on Mr. Adams to grace us with our presence again.
God, I'm still waiting for him to do something for me. We're almost done.
How much does he owe you?
Carlotta Spaceman, hi, just joining in for a second to tell you Ghost sucks. Only Tobias' other band, Repugnant, is real. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Your opinion is duly noted.
Your opinion is noted. And now shredded. Thank you. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's all right for you to be wrong, sir. It's okay.
It's okay to be wrong, but don't be wrong and loud at the same time.
Everybody has their own opinions.
Canada Spaceman. Oh, Lisa, you're wonderful.
Carlotta Spaceman.
My eyeliner is.
Yeah, it was just running a little
but
bit.
It helps better if you do this.
Yeah,
it helps much better if you do that. There you go.
Dual coverage. It blends.
Right. So next week we are
read between the lines.
Next week we are going to be doing an Alice Cooper show. We're going to be talking about Welcome to My Nightmare. The Welcome to My Nightmare, I guess, movie, video thing or whatever, and then the concert.
TV special. Yeah.
TV special. And then some concert that Greg wanted us to do. And also, I believe, Welcome to number 2, My Nightmare, the album. So
by the way, shameless plug, check out the cover of Black Widow that Wayne and Lisa and I did with Don from Timeless Haunt and with Mandir.
Mandir, yes. Yeah.
And with Rob Vieira.
Yeah, that came out really cool. I like that song a lot.
So
go check that out. I'm sorry that the video is a little off, especially with your parts, Lisa.
You know what, that program. Dude, that's actually makes it more charming.
Yeah.
I appreciate
really
Lisa was doing my guitar solo air guitar wise while I was playing it. That was cool.
So please go check that out.
Okay, well, we have Canada's Spaceman's respect back because we like Cooper. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we do everything here. You know, we don't have to agree on every band or whatever. Just whatever. So
next we'll be talking Sabaton's entire discography.
Please do. Please do. Please do. I will drop all that history knowledge bombs on that.
I love me some Sabaton.
As long as you're ready to go for a 40-minute dissertation on Simo Heha, I'm all for it.
Okay.
We'll do Sabaton, then we'll do Sabat, then we'll do Abat from Immortal.
Then we're gonna finish off with Noob Saibot from freaking Mortal Kombat.
All right.
And no Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Please hit that subscribe button.
Just don't roll on
And
Shabbat.
click the bell for notifications for new episodes and new content.
Yeah, click that bell.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Go to
Subscribe.
TikTok. I'm on TikTok as well. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all this fun stuff. So
The TikTok's getting really fun, guys. I mean, I think I share videos all the time to Wayne and all them about some silly stuff I see on TikTok.
yeah, so you and James, James,
Yes, me and I, yes.
you and yourself. No, but you and EA always.
He going Dave Ellefson on us on TikTok?
No, not Dave Ellefson. But all right, thanks everybody for watching. Go listen to Ghost. And one last thing. I mean, we didn't go over it, but I don't think we're gonna because this is already running long. But I will put it into the description our Halloween playlist. So each of us picked 6 songs,
and it's awesome.
There's some good songs. I still got to finish mine, so that's why we're kind of not doing it. But I'll put the description in the link in the description. So go check that out. It's on Spotify.
RadStarReview.com, musicasLifePodcast.com, Bandcamp.LisaMann.com.
Lisa Mann.
LisaMann.bandcamp, whitecrone.bandcamp.com.
Yeah,
And ProjectResurrect.bandcamp.com. And Beyond Bushido on Facebook whenever that comes back.
It's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It just hasn't been updated.
All right, whatever.
Past episodes are on Facebook.
All right, good. All right, see you guys next week.